One thing I really care about is improving my trading from year to year. I want to make sure I become better. I want to make sure I get better results. I want to make sure I work on my strategies, work on things I need to work on, fix my mistakes every year. And almost without fail, during the holidays, I go through this process and I create my trader growth plan for the next year. These are things I want to work on, things I want to get better at, things I want to focus on for the year. And today I'll give you that process, show you how that works out. We'll go in details. I'll give you a free template to do it. So we'll dive right in. All right, so the key point for me today is I want to go through this template with you because I want to show you how it works out. I want to show you things you can do with this trader growth plan. I've been working with this for multiple years. It's just a really cool way to look at how you want to become better, what things you can do to actually become better. Because most people don't plan their growth. They just go from year to year. They try to get better. They have intentions. They have these resolutions, but then nothing happens. This template solves that because you plan out everything in advance and you make sure you know exactly where you're going with your growth in trading. So here's the template. I'll put it on the screen over here so you can check it out directly. But I want to go through these different sections and give you the template so you can use it for free afterward for your own trading. First of all, we've got here at the top, your top 5 goals for the next 12 months. So I want to write my goals because number one, I want to be able to remind myself of them. I want to know exactly where I'm going. It can be very good when you have a tough time or even a few losses to go back to your goals and to kind of figure out what you can do better. That section is really important for that stuff. You want to be able to know what your goals are and kind of remind yourself of these goals as much as you can. Now, usually I'm not a big fan of money goal for trading, but you could put money goal if you want to. If that motivates you to keep getting back to the charts every day if you have losses or whatever that is, then put money goal. That's totally fine. If you want to put process goals, which are more things you want to improve, things you want to get better at, that's also really cool. That makes it more where you focus on the process to get to those results. And you know, if you do these things on a daily basis, then your results will appear. So a process goal could be something like, I want to be able to create a new strategy for the next year. Like that's a good goal because then you can work on that strategy, you can create it. And from there, you know, you'll get results if you create that strategy. Now you can have lifestyle goal, trading goal, money goal, a mix of everything, things you want to do for next year. Okay. And it really takes some time to kind of draw this out. You might even write down 10, pick the top 5 you want for the next year. And then you can start to work on these other parts afterward. Okay. Next is our skills to develop. Now think about, if I want to be able to achieve these goals that I've put above on this template, what are the skills I have to work on? Now, these skills could be as simple as being able to backtest. I want to learn to backtest better. I want to be able to learn algo trading. That was my big skill a few years ago. Being able to learn the ins and outs of having algos take trades for you. I didn't want to learn coding because I had a coder to do it. I didn't want to necessarily kind of learn all the stuff behind it, but at least the basics, be able to run the algos that I have and test them out and make sure I'm able to run my own strategies with algo. And under each skill, you write down the resource that you need. So what kind of books, what kind of program, what kind of mentorship, what kind of coach, what kind of people. It could be just friends, people you know, people you don't know yet, that could help you reach that goal. So you write this down over here because then we know exactly what you can do to get better. Most people just have an idea of their goals. If they even have some goals, then they don't have any idea how to get there. They don't have a plan to get to those goals. That's why it's very useful to have this template to fill this out and to have this ready in advance for you to be able to get going. By the way, a skill could be also something about your mindset. Could be you want to work on patience this year. I'm going to work on patience and I'm going to have as my resource, let's say people like Andrew Maneker, people like Mandy, people like Randy Howell who I've interviewed on my channel. You can learn from their free content. They will teach you a lot about patience. If you want to get a coach, you write down your coach as well and things you can do to get better with that coach, and that is in your resources. Okay, next is strategies. And strategies is here because most people, you know, strategy jump for a while before they actually stick to something. But over time, as you get to trade profitably and then full time, you're going to have multiple strategies. And having these written down here is good because you can focus on them. It's too tempting sometimes to want to work on something else, want to test out something else, then you kind of want to change your method half year in. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be following strategies that you've worked on for the past few years, or at least have just created and are ready to test live or demo on the market. So I'll write down my strategies here. I never trade more than 4 strategies because otherwise I get too overwhelmed and it's just like a whole mess. I'll usually have 3 strategies I focus on and maybe one more if I want to kind of test it out. Or if I have a good idea of something else I want to work on, or if I have a good idea of something else I want to work on, I might write it down here into number 4. But usually it's going to be only 3 strategies. I write them down here, the names of my strategies, so I can focus on them for the whole year and kind of see where I'm at and where my edge is. Then we break it down into the top 3 focus for the next 90 days. So the things you want to work on for the next 90 days. Remember, this is for the whole year at the top. What about the next 90 days? What about the next 3 months? What do you want to work on? Well, it should be in line with those goals. Of course, you should have some tasks, some things you want to focus on to get to those goals. So I like to kind of go back on this plan every 90 days because then I can do a new one keep usually the same goal, maybe adjust a little bit the goals, but then I have different things to work on for the next 90 days. And you break it down here month by month, 1, 2, 3, with different things you want to work on. Now, can you see how clear this makes it of what you got to work on? Because you've got goals at the top, you got skills you can work on, you got strategies that you can actually use to have an edge in the market. And if you don't have any strategies, then your skills should be to create them first. And that should be your goals as well. Then number 3, you've got your 90-day things to work on. What do you want to work on next? That's pretty cool. So back a few years ago, I had this idea of trying to figure out how to trade support resistance areas, but without being in the chart to spot them manually. I want to be able to kind of get away, have something very clear, very systematic to look at my support resistance areas in the charts. And that was part of my trader growth plan. It was a big key into it, how to actually get to spot these support resistance areas without me being in the chart. So I would write this over here. Now I knew this was the first step into being able to use these zones for an algo, for example, where if you're not at the chart and the algo needs to spot zones for you, it should be able to do it systematically. So that was my goal, one of my goals at least. Then I had some skills to work on, right? Skills would be, well, I got to work on how to make it more systematic. So I'm just going to write this down here. Systematic zones. Maybe I got to look into like indicator coding. I want to code indicators. My strategy, I would write them down over here. Now I've got BBR. Okay, obviously I know what these strategies are like. I have my Bollinger Band reversal strategy. I have my RSI trend breakout strategy. I've got my daily weekly price action, which is something I do that's a lot more high level, a lot more weekly kind of based on bigger time frames, which I want to get more into this year. This is one of my key focus as well. But as an example, that's all over here. Then I have my weekly indices and stocks trading. So every week I go and invest into some stocks, some indices. This is still trading, but a bit more long term. So I've got a pretty good portfolio on that. And it's part of my goals next year to improve it even more. Then my top 3 focus for the next 90 days would be something along the lines of working on this. How to spot accurate support resistance zones systematically. I'm going to go over here. Now I put here, I want to be able to connect with systematic traders. So people I know who are trading systematically, who are able to look at zones without looking at zones manually, who are away from the charts or even maybe trading algos. How do they kind of look at the market context? I want to be able to understand how they do things. I want to have a look at the free TradingView script. So remember on TradingView, you can always search the indicator box, clicking over here. Then you can search for any kind of script. So if I search support and resistance, I'm going to find a ton here. I want to go through them, see what they are like, see what the code is like too for these scripts. Trying to understand how they do things, if I can take anything away from it that would work well the way I trade. So this is pretty cool to have here. I'm going to go through these and kind of look at how I can improve and see different ideas I could have. Okay, and then we've got our month 1, month 2, month 3 action step. I'm not going to write into this for now because this would be very simple. But month 1, I could go through these scripts. Month 2, I could maybe try to create my own method, either with the script or at least have my draft methodology. And then month 3, it could be something where I want to test it out. I want to back test, see if it's going to work well. And then I could kind of maybe tweak and adjust. Right, so most people never go through that process of actually planning out their year, what they want to work on. This is key for me. I do this every holidays when I go back to Canada usually. I sit down during Christmas and New Year. I plan this out. I'm usually going to write it down by hand, but you can fill this on your computer if you want to. The template I have, which is free, you can check out the link below, is all with fillable fields. So you can just fill it out directly with your computer if you want to, or write down by hand. It's kind of cool. Any questions you have, post them below in the comment section. I want to hear your thoughts on this. If you find this useful, let me know. I'll do more videos on this topic in the next few years. I want to make sure you guys improve your trading next year. We can always become better no matter what level we're at, and that's key for me. Check out this video next, YouTube think you will like, and I'll catch you back here, of course, in the next video pretty soon. Ciao.